welcome back to another edition of Research Fantasy presents our MLB DFS pitcher picks for Tuesday, April 18th, 2017. I'm your host, Nick Valinchak, better known as Nick from CWE on all of your favorite daily fantasy sites, and I'm here to bring you my three favorite pitchers on this slate. Last night, definitely a rough night for pitching options. Honestly, I didn't even settle on some of the guys I was going to play until 6:45. I did still end up with a lot of Lackey, a lot of Chase Anderson. These Cubs just really aren't right at this point in time. I think we're making a mistake by continuously thinking that they're the offense they were right now in 2016. Might they be in a few weeks? Absolutely, but right now they just don't look right. Tonight, a lot of nice pitching options, and you're going to have that when every team in the Major League is playing, as far as I can tell. So things might sound a little chalky, but that's just the way I'm going to go with my lineups tonight. Starting with Max Scherzer at 11-4 on FanDuel, traveling to Atlanta to take on the Braves. Now, honestly, Max Scherzer, one of the best pitchers in the major leagues. I don't know if it's just me. The Braves seem to like to be hitting where they're at in their new stadium. They're already a pesky offense as it is, as they don't strike out a ton, and they always seem to cobble together a few runs after the starting pitcher has left the game, keeping that pitcher from getting the win. So I am a little nervous. I'm just being honest. I know a lot of people will just say, Scherzer, oh yeah, the Braves, oh yeah, let's get this done, lock it in, and at the end of the night, Scherzer has 25 fantasy points because he gave up 2 home runs, which is a thing he had a problem with, especially at the beginning of the year last year. Scherzer gave up 2 solo dongs. The Nationals, of course, in a perfect situation for him seemingly, couldn't score behind him, only struck out 2 batters, which all that did was negate the home runs that he gave up, and you're left in a situation where maybe he ends up with a quality start but doesn't get the win, doesn't come close to paying off his value. I'm still there. I'm not saying I'm not playing Max Scherzer. I'm just giving the worst case scenario, and I think a lot of people would agree that baseball is the highest variance sport that there is. You can get guys in perfect matchups that just don't come through. You can get guys in the weirdest situation, but somehow they end up popping off the page and doing so well. So for me, I'm going to have some Scherzer, but I'm not going to be overweight on him considering the pitching options that are on this slate. I think, a lot of people would go to Yu Darvish. My next pick is going to be Michael Fulmer of the Detroit Tigers. Headed to the road to take on the Tampa Bay Rays. He's 9,100 on FanDuel, and pretty good position for him here. I mean, yeah, you'd like to see him hosting the Tampa Bay Rays at his home park because that's just where most pitchers do better, but he's off to a solid start to the year. We know what the Rays are. The Rays are a complex team. They're striking out at like a really ridiculous clip to begin things this year. They definitely have their struggles with right-handed pitching, but they have some good left-handed bats. Corey Dickerson, Kevin Kiermaier, Brad Miller jump out at me. Logan Morrison, kind of the silent killer there. But overall, I think that with his skill set, Fulmer should be able to shut this team down. I don't mind going this route in cash games or tournaments. And again, you're looking at a situation where not the most comforting spot to be in. This Rays team, just pesky, man. You think you're in a good position, and the next thing you know, they have 6 runs up on the board. So again, a little bit of hesitation, but I'm confident in Fulmer's abilities. I think he pitches a great game today, and we will be treated to something in the vicinity of 40 fantasy points on FanDuel. My last play, and quite honestly, maybe this is my favorite play for pitchers, and a lot of it's reactive to DraftKings because he really allows you to do something special because he's priced so cheap. That's Luis Severino, 7,700 FanDuel, and he is like 6,500, 6,700, maybe 6,900 on DraftKings. I don't know what people think about Luis Severino. I literally just picked him up off the waiver wire. I think it might have even been after his last start, and I'm just sitting here like, what's the deal with this? I mean, Severino was like a big-time prospect just a couple years ago, and I get it. He didn't have a good year at all in 2016, but the calendar's turned, and this will be, I think this is already his, okay, it's only his third start. I mean, he didn't look great against the Orioles, gave up 4 runs, only give us a 21-point fantasy outing. Came back against the Rays, struck out 11. Now you know why I like Michael Fulmer. Gave up 2 runs there, still turned out a 58-point fantasy outing. Now he's taking on a White Sox team that if you look at the batting, the starting lineup, you're like, first of all, you're like, who are half these people? You know, did they call up their entire AAA organization? I've never seen a team look like they wanted to tank starting day 1 of the season, but here it is. This is where we're at. Yesterday was even worse. Todd Frazier not in the lineup, and I don't know whether that's a good thing or bad thing. Yeah, he's a powerful bat. He's a horrible hitter, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Point being, I would put Severino's quality of pitching above Jordan Montgomery. Montgomery sliced and diced for the most part, did struggle early on with some walks, and they probably let him pitch into the 7th when maybe they shouldn't have. They should have perhaps just pulled him after the 6th inning. I think Severino, upside here, 7 innings, 10 strikeouts, huge outing. I think that the offense is in a good position here up against Miguel Gonzalez. Is not a guy that I typically am too frightened of, so I think that he's a good bet for the win. So once again, our top 3 pitchers today: Max Scherzer, Michael Fulmer, Luis Severino. Thanks for joining. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel below. Head over to researchfantasy.com. Sign up for our NBA mailing list, MLB mailing list. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Research and Win. And join us again tomorrow.